used Blender for the first time. Watched a couple of tutorials, quite a bit. Also Googled a lot of stuff on how to do specifically a lot of things in which I never understood how to use it. And it was just difficult, let me tell you that. My experience was not the greatest. Well, when I first began, I was trying to like do it like like those intros and stuff like that. I wanted to do it like that, so I wanted to draw my character just sitting down a cliff and hair waving, eye blinking, or whatever. It didn't turn out so well, actually. Like, let me tell you, okay? I was sketching and everything, and I only had one brush to sketch. Now, I usually use a key dial, those little keypads to kind of help you when it comes to like drawing. So you're not constantly having to actually click on the like pencil or the eraser manually. Well, I had to do it because I didn't feel like having to like have the buttons correlate with, like the quick keys and everything, and I don't use my keyboard at all because I don't know. I just don't use my keyboard for some reason. I'm more accustomed to using the little key dial thing whenever I draw. But so I was going manually, like pencils right here, erasers right here. You gotta click on the bucket tool. I don't. There was a bucket tool actually. I used it. I think I used the bucket tool quite often actually. Now this is where things got real confusing. Now I clicked on something and I lost that box. So right now I think this was the camera view, the 3D camera view, and I was playing around. Like I'm just clicking everything, trying to figure out how do I go back to that box that I was on, that rectangle. I got so lost for so long, and now I'm trying to adjust that box into the picture so I know at least like where I'm supposed to be doing things, right? This is my first time using Blender. I was looking online, like, Google, help me please. How do I get out of here? I did not know what to look online though, so I was just kind of blind searching up whatever I had to do, how do I get out of here? Eventually, I just started it up again. I could not figure it out. I just decided to just, you know what, I'm gonna close the program. I didn't bother saving for some reason. I don't know why I didn't save. I closed it, opened up. Here's my my new attempt. Later on, I do figure out actually how to like go back to that view once I get further into like a different tutorial. But for now, I had to restart, okay, because I was not gonna spend another like 30 minutes trying to figure out how do I get back that box. So I started the drawing again. This is the second time. I think the second one did turn out better than the first one. The hair I fixed a bit. I did like the dress in the first one a bit more, but I didn't save it like I said, so I just had to make a second one. Oh jeez. The trauma's coming back. This entire process, I will tell you one thing. Don't be like me. I gave up so quickly and I really just wanted to end this like in general, but I couldn't, I didn't. I just kept on looking online, kept on doing some research. Some tutorials were absolutely confusing. Like I would look at my tabs and they had things that I didn't have, and same thing for brushes. They had brushes that I didn't have, and I used the default brushes. I used like two brushes. No, one brush. I used that little ink brush that has like a little fancy, like once you like draw on it, it has like that nice sharp edge at the end. I used that one. The first one I used was just like a circular brush. Ended off as a circular, started off. I didn't like it. It was kind of meh. I stuck with that nice inky brush. It was weird. I'm not used to using Blender to draw on, obviously, and I did try to get Clip Studio Paint like the layers onto Blender. I just didn't know how to do it. I probably could have looked it up a little bit more, but I just didn't know how to do it because I would go on files and I would like try to look through like the ones that actually had the layers on. I'm not sure if I'd export it as a different file to make it work, but I didn't bother. I was like, I'm just gonna start a new drawing. This will be fun. This will totally be fun. It was not fun. I'm not accustomed to line art. This is me line arting. Is that a word? Well, this is me doing line art. It's kind of weird, not going to lie. I don't usually do line art. When I do, it's kind of not as clean as I like it. I don't like clean line art. It's one thing. I do not like clean art line art. It's so weird, and I'm awful at it. I know there's, jeez. I used to do line art. I used to like when I started off drawing. I don't do it as much anymore. Like usually I just color and then line art at the end, kind of like not like the clean line art, but just like to kind of like get those shapes a lot more defined, or so I say. And I don't do backgrounds that often either, but I really want to do this cliff. Now I got this cliff, I was looking online, like inspirations, found this forest, found a cliff, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a cliff. Do a nice pretty cliff. It seems easy. Now, when I was doing this cliff, I started off coloring it, okay? Brown. Are cliffs usually brown? I don't know. I personally never been on a cliff. Thank God. Well, this green right here, oh my goodness, this green, curse it. Curse it, I say. Whenever I always choose a color or I press the paintbrush, it always turns green for some reason. I don't understand if I can fix that. It would bother me every single time. So coloring was very, very tedious for me. It's just every single time it was green. Very first time, and I'm constantly getting so annoyed by it. It's like, oh, I gotta undo, gotta fix it. I gotta go back to the actual color, and then I didn't know how to save the colors. I didn't know how to like get the little what's that one tool when you like copy the color? The eyedrop tool. Yes, I didn't know how to do that. So I was just grabbing new browns every single time. So that was, oh, it hurts. It still hurts. It's so annoying. But brown was the color I chose. Later on, I kind of changed it to a different color that's not brown. So just getting this whole like coloring process out the way because I don't know what I was doing. I was coloring with one brush. I'm not really used to coloring with one brush, so I scrapped the whole thing. I didn't scrap the whole thing. I switched to a different color, which was gray. I think cliffs are more grayish since it's rocks. Rocks tend to be a lot more gray. Brown, I assume brown because dirt, things get dirty, things turn brown because the wind blows or whatever. But I changed it to gray, and the entire time I was like, you know what? It makes no sense if I'm doing brown. Like I usually don't color my characters. Like it's just black and white. All my thumbnails are black and white. One reason I did that was because I really liked how it turned out. Black and white, and just because like my YouTube background's white, it's on like light mode. I've never seen it like in dark mode, but in light mode it just looks nice. In dark mode I will see that one day, but I hope it also looks nice. But I stuck to the black and white, stick to the black and white cliff. Rendering it was similar. I was struggling in the beginning. I honestly don't know what I was doing. What was I doing? I don't know. I was going blind at this point. I was like, man, that brown didn't turn out nice, so I haven't bothered doing brown. I'm just gonna go back to like because my character. I was thinking of coloring the character, right? I was gonna give her like a colored dress. Hair's gonna stay the same. Skin color, I was gonna give skin color, but it's no point. Just go black and white like I always do. And let me tell you one thing. It was kind of fun using just one brush. I did the background lightest to darkest. I wanted to give it like nice little scenery in the background. Not used to. The leaves were meant for the animation, for the stuff and everything, like the movement, because the wind. Ooh, the wind's going. Because the hair was also gonna blow, which is why the hair looks like that. As soon as I start coloring the character, black and white. That's right. Like I'm actually the dress. I actually color that gray. It's not like gray. No, it's basically gray. What am I talking about? No, it's gray. I color that gray. That's gray. It's white, black, and gray basically. Shading was gray, obviously. I actually shaded. Woo! I actually shaded the character for once. First time and maybe the last time. So getting the coloring over with the character was pretty quick. Now this is around the time in the beginning how I was kind of like confused on how I fixed the camera view. Well, as I went further in a different tutorial, I found out that there's actually a button that you can press. I forgot what button it was, but it was like above. It was one of those tabs. I don't know, but right here, I kind of expected a 3D view because they were saying how like, oh shoot, because Blender you can do it in 3D as well. So I was constantly looking back and forth like 3D where I thought maybe if I had layers it was gonna do that. Like each layer had its own like 3D thing, right? To kind of like layers, right? So layers are supposed to do, you know. So I was constantly flipping back and forth like, bro, where's my layers? Where'd they go? Are they? Is this not how it's supposed to work? But I guess there's a different tutorial about that. I went to go watch it. That's when I learned that they had tabs that I didn't have because I was constantly looking like what the heck? Where do I find this? Like I don't have it. Am I missing something? Is there like is there a pay? I didn't even check if Blender had a paid option. It probably does. Maybe. I kind of want to say no, it doesn't, but I think it does. Okay, I think it has it. I didn't have it. I didn't have what he had, so I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna not even bother doing the 3D ceramic view because I want to do like a cool one, you know, camera in, camera out. I know how to use it. Okay, I was I gave up. That's basically what I did. I kind of stood there for a while. This okay, right here, this long pause. I was looking up tutorials. So these long pauses, it's just me. You're not gonna see them often because I usually speed up the videos, so that never happens. But right here, I was searching up on how to do this, right? I was like, man, bro, how do you look this up? What do I even look at? Like, how do I 3D clickety clack? I'm typing, I'm searching for a while, just trying to get things done. I was baffled by how difficult this actually. I thought it was gonna be easy. No, it's difficult. This is not easy. You gotta spend hours on this program. Hours. Like maybe in like 24 hours on it, maybe even more, just to kind of get the gist of like how to actually use almost every tab, everything they have to offer, which I didn't really do. I didn't. Trust me. This is when I begin like trying to animate it. You know, I'm like pressing things. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I just video tutorial is really short. Okay, it's really short. I'm like playing around everything, trying to like do things. I realize if you don't lock the layers, I don't know if this is just because I was doing it wrong, but if you don't lock the layers behind it, it will like morph the layers. And another thing that I didn't know. So when I was trying to move the hair, I thought it was gonna move in like just a bulk. But the more I moved it, the more I was able to see like the lines. Like it's not like a solid movement. It was like just moving the lines that you made, which I found very like odd. I don't know exactly how that worked in general. So it wasn't the hair wasn't turning out as pretty. Like look at that hair. What is that? It's horrible. I still continue though because I didn't know how to fix it. Like what am I doing with like but I thought it made it look a little more realistic, you know, because we all have like little pieces of hair, you know, it's not just like one solid block. But you know, the more I played with it, the more it just started to look weird, and then the eyes just wasn't cooperating with me for some reason because like for some reason I would like make them closed halfway, and then the next midsection they're like open the entire way, and then I was just like, geez, what do I do? You know what? It's perfect. Fortunately, I couldn't export it. I also did not know how to export it correctly. I tried. I really tried. Was exporting in all the different files that I could have exported in, but it just was not working. And you know, all in all, you know, if you were to learn anything from this video, I think the best thing you could say is that I gave up. Blender's not easy, and if you really want to master it, not really master it, but at least do decently well, you just gotta learn. You just gotta like watch a lot more videos than I did and Google way more than what I could ever do. But you know what? That's it for today. Thank you for watching me suffer.